Welcome everyone to another quick episode here with JS Miner TV. Today I'm going to be showing you City Skylines and some basic traffic tips, as well as getting started off in the game. Because I know when I first started out, traffic was always a huge problem for me, and as you know, it really affects the gameplay. As far as how good your traffic is. So I'm just going to start up and I will show you some cool traffic tips. Once this loads. So the first thing that you will come into is you'll get a plot of land with the two highway connections coming in. Right off the bat, I always like to press spacebar and pause the time down here, because once you start building roads, the cost actually goes up and you start losing money per hour down here. So off the bat, just pause the game. So down here, you come down to the road menu, and this is where you want to start off. As you can see, they're all, you kind of have to go through and unlock them as you go. But right off the bat, I just like to place a quick little one of those, and you can delete it right away, and you can see a partial refund even for that. But that, as you can see, it unlocked a few other roads that we have to work with now, so that's always good. So what I like to do is, I'm a huge fan of the one-way traffic. It's very good for directing traffic exactly the way you want it to. And as you saw here, this road that I just placed, this one-way road, is facing the opposite direction of this one-way highway. So if you come down to the upgrade tool, you can actually right-click on it, and it will reverse the direction, which is very handy in situations like that where you want to keep it lined up. The big thing with these one-way roads coming off of highways, big tip, get these 45-degree angles coming in. And you notice how I use the guideline and go 1 over 1 up to get this nice 45-degree angle. This way, when the traffic comes in, it'll split off either direction with no problems. And then from here, sometimes I like to leave this here so it lines it up better so you stay straight. And you can just do a quick little loop coming around, and there's a nice little traffic loop right there. Right now, our main concern is the different zones here, right? So we got our green for residential, blue for commercial, and then yellow for the industrial. Now, yellow is always the most difficult to zone because there's a lot of trucks driving to these industries, and therefore traffic becomes really bad. So you always want to try to keep your industrial close to the main highway, as close to the main highway as possible. So that's what this area here is going to be for. If I continue up here, I'm going to continue the road here, and up here is where I'll put the commercial and residential. And here's where I can add a double or a two-way road going in here, just so that people up here can get down, and then trucks can go up from there as well. So we'll make this the one-way section here for the residential. Okay, so another thing you want to add here is a way for the trucks to get out of the city again. So notice how I have the road elevated there. Simply by pressing page up, you can elevate your roads, which is very convenient. Or down here also, by the way, is where you select different style roads. So I've been using straight roads this whole time. I'm going to go ahead and throw in a curve road, just to make it look a little nicer. And let's go back to straight road, I guess. Give it a little curve effect going in. So this is good here. We got traffic coming in, going in a loop, and coming back out. Also, I could add it. I've added it this way, but you get the idea here. Now we also need a way for them to get out here. You can also hit. Actually, let me build this out quick. Upgrade tool to reverse it. You can also click the page down to go underground, which looks cool. But it also is a little bit more expensive. Just keep that in mind when doing that. So there we go. So there's our entrances and exits back onto the highway and off the highway for our two different zones here. So then obviously when starting out, you're going to need water and sewage. So when you get into this menu, you got to take a look at your the direction of the water, because this here, the water pumping station, is what takes in the water. So you want that upstream from the sewage pipe. You don't want to be pumping crap directly into your pipes. No, come on, that would be just nasty. So you go ahead and just get that all sorted out. Pipes don't have to look too good. They're underground. You never see them anyways. Just as long as they're covering everything you're planning on zoning, you'll be good to go. Alright, I also like to put my electric... wind's always a good one to start out with. I always like to put it by these water stations because they're out of the way. And then these power lines are used to transport the power, obviously, to your city. Okay, so now that we have the basic zone here, I can go ahead and start zoning. So I'll put the residential here, and then I'll go ahead and unpause the game and watch it start to grow. You can also speed up time here, and boom, we have people moving in, which is lovely. So now I'm going to go ahead and put in the industrial section, and then over here, you'll notice if I click this, it'll light up the whole area. That's because I'm on like the zone select area. If you come over to the square select, you can select a specific square to zone, just like that. And then there's also different ways of painting. You can like paint over it. I'm not a huge fan of the paint ones. I like using the box and the zone ones for all that good stuff. But as you can see, we're starting to get people here, and this isn't connected with power, so I'm going to go ahead and just do a little quick one right there. And that's all fine and dandy. So there you go. This is a good way to start out a city, and then you can keep expanding from here. Say if I wanted to make the industrial a little bigger, you know, just keep expanding out like that, and up here, and then there's always these two. You can keep going out this way and make more of these 45-degree angles and such. And as you see, traffic comes in nice and smooth, right in, all the way up to where it needs to go. So there's some quick tips for traffic when starting out here. I'm going to go ahead and go into one of my other more developed worlds to show you a few more examples of good traffic patterns. Be right back. Okay, so here we are in one of my more developed worlds here, and as you can see, I have maintained the basic traffic patterns of the 45-degree angles coming off. This is obviously now highway now because I've upgraded it, and as you can see, traffic here is running pretty smoothly. Even have a nice little interchange going on here. So a few tips for when you're in the more developed stage. So the big key is where you're putting the zones on the road. So you might have a really good traffic pattern for some situations, but not others. And what I mean by that is the yellow, the industrial trucks have to get to the blue to deliver off, to drop off stuff, and the green has to get to the yellow, and yellow has to get to the blue as well. So if you have blue that is very tough to get to, I don't have any examples of that really here. Maybe this here isn't the best place for it. Even here is a little out of the way from the industrial. But like examples of it here, coming right in off the highway is very good, because then all the yellow has to do is come off this ramp and then right into the blue zone to drop off the stuff, and then go right back out and back to the zones here. So that's just a few things you want to keep in mind. Also with the greens, make sure it's easy to get to the yellow and all that good stuff. But if you keep these tips in mind, and keep in mind which direction your traffic's flowing, which way you want it all to go, things should turn out pretty well for you, as they have for me here. So yeah, that'll about conclude this video for some basic traffic patterns to help you out in your City Skylines episodes. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.